What's up, people? It's King Majora here. Look, this is What Are the UFOs? Episode 2. So listen, I wanted to do a series because the UFO files gotta capitalize. You know what I'm saying, brothers. You know what I'm saying. So, I wanted to start with this whole thing. So we discussed in episode 1, I destroyed the narratives of God and revealed who the goddess was, okay? And if you don't know, to end up sewing up loose ends, Nanaya is Lakshmi, is Isis, okay? And God is Vishnu, and he's a banker. Well, he's more so, he's a wealthy man connected to banks. And I'm destroying banks as the U.S. is destroying bankers. So why don't tie a Kek ritual to as above, so below? Praise Kek. So what is this? Well, there was this group, right? And we're going to take it back to World War II. This episode's all about the Fourth Reich. Because that's what they're trying to focus on with QAnon. I know you've heard of Project 2025, you've heard of the Heritage Foundation, but have you ever heard of the business plot? So, let's talk about the business plot. You've heard of Operation Trust? I don't know. Well, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't a good man of upstanding character. So I'm going to reveal to you some more truth. I'm going to show you what Pete Hegseth is guilty of, treason, alongside Elon Musk and so many others. That's right, my name is Ronnie Skelton II of Springfield, Ohio, also known as the meme magician, comedian, and musician, King Majora, KXNGMAJORA, and I'm accusing Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the Antichrist himself. Who's the Antichrist? His name is Joshua Kushner. Who works on behalf of Chabad Lubavitch. Oh, I'm somebody who knows a little bit about Israel. I don't just throw Jews out there or Zionists. When I talk about the Likud party, when I talk about Chabad Lubavitch, I can get real cool with Shin Bet and call them little coup d'etat, a little bit of make Israel great again. So, with that analogy told straight to your face, fuck you, I'm Killuminati, this is the business plot. Excuse me. The business plot, also known as the Wall Street Push or the House Puts, was a 1933 political conspiracy by wealthy U.S. business leaders to overthrow President Franklin D. Roosevelt and establish a fascist dictatorship. Major General Smedley Butler exposed the plot, which aimed to use an army of veterans to seize power, but no conspirators were prosecuted. So that's Project 2025, ladies and gentlemen. And you're like, but the liberals, the woke people say that it's Nazis. I know, you're not supposed to believe the woke people. Do you realize the BRAIN Initiative under Barack Obama? Let me look that up. The BRAIN Initiative. Oh, yeah, this was a big thing. Corporations know you better than you know you. You don't think they know you don't like woke? You conservatives, who are actually... Here's the secret about the conservatives, the grand old party. You know who they got infiltrated by? The Trotskyites. Your Republicans are Trotskyites. Trotskyites are supporters of the Marxist ideology developed by Leon Trotsky, emphasizing international permanent revolution over Stalin's socialism in one country. They advocate for worker-led democracy, oppose bureaucracy, and view the Soviet Union under Stalin as a degenerated worker state. The term Trotskyite is often used pejoratively. Look at that worker state. Oh, your big businesses, your corporations, they want workers, and you're too dumb and you work at cash register, be a Starbucks Marxist. Wow, I thought we were talking about aliens, Ronnie, King Majora. I thought we were talking about aliens. We are talking about aliens. I mentioned this several times. Tall, white, Nazi aliens. Fars News. And this is actually true. Yale Global. So this is a trustworthy source. This is yale.edu. This is an education website. Now, their Fars News, they're I'm going to abridge this. Oh, I guess I could say it. The gulf between Iran and the United States is wide. Iran's Fars News Agency reports that U.S. National Security Agency documents released by a former contract worker suggest that a shadow, and that's Edward Snowden, by the way. They say that somewhere else. A shadowy government of aliens ran Nazi Germany, intent on world domination, and now runs the United States, also intent on world domination. The report, labeled under the category of space, emerges as the United States and Iran resume diplomatic. Okay, so Iran's semi-official news source said that Nazi aliens who ran what? Nazi Germany run the United States. Look who's reporting on this. EDU, okay? And you'd be like, well, Ronnie, come on, man. Come on. What does that have to do with Trotskyites, the Brain Initiative, and the business plot, and Vril, the power of the coming race? What does it have to do with this? Huh? Well, there's this group called the Thule Society. Right? These guys. The backbone of Hitler. The people who were responsible for Hitler's rise in the very first place, using a swastika, an ancient Hindu Aryan symbol for power. Now we're talking about, like we did in the last one with Inanna. So you're like, Ronnie, how does it connect to Inanna? How does it connect to Nanaya? Well, I'm going to tell you. This book I keep mentioning from the first, the first one, and I'm going to get to reading this, don't worry. I'm going to read actual pages from these books. I can't read too much because then it's copyright, but just like the monotheism deception, I'll say what I need to say. I just want to show the title of this here book so you can see it for yourself. Excuse me. Slave Species of the Gods, The Secret History of the Anunnaki and Their Mission on Earth, by Michael Tellinger or Tellinger. I don't know what it actually is. So, what does that have to do with this? Well, it has everything to do with that. But before I do, and like I said, I'm going to do a lot of reading, but this is just the second part. So you need to like and subscribe wherever you are at, and trust me, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read a lot more. But I wanted to show you something quick, because this is my big fuck you, and I hope you do come to my house and start moving shit around, because I talk too much. I'm a psychic warrior, and you're going to be food. Ever heard of Project Scanate, Project Stargate, Project Grill Flame, Sunstreak, etc.? Yeah, you don't want to fuck with me. So it's this. I'm talking in your face. It's not just like that UFO murder that happened. I'm actually begging you to come try to kill me, because I'll kill you first. I've downed UFOs. I killed Elohim. I will get into that in just a second. In this whole damn expose, you're going to learn exactly the scientific and educated consensus reason for how I killed God. But we're going to lead up to that. 51 documents. Zionist collaboration with the Nazis, edited by Lenny Brenner. That's a Jew. That's a Trotskyite Jew. So I got in the face of Trotskyites. I promise it all connects. I'm not just tangenting. Look at that. This actually is a very invaluable book that you should buy yourself. And I will read from it, but books are long. Okay, this is a long book. This is nothing but compiled documentation. It's not the guy's research. It's actual documentation. Clips, news clips, speeches, actual things that were said are actually lifted and put right into this. What's this, Nazis? What's this, Jews? And I do mean all Jews for a second, because as much as you are very different from conservatives to liberals to Orthodox, etc., Messianic, Chabad Messianic, What the hell is this? I'll tell you what this is. This book is kryptonite. This book is kryptonite. And if you'd like to read it before I get a chance to, and believe me, we're just in the introduction phases of my show, What Are the UFOs? By the time that my series is over with, and there may be over 50 to 100 episodes, because I'm not going to do them very long each one, this is a message to you. I said fuck you. I may be family to bloodline, and I may be bloodline myself. I may have good fellows, Masons, and military family, but what I won't put up with is this bullshit from these people. So, let's go back. What is the Thule Society again, Ronnie? Well, you can look it up for yourself, but I'll tell you quickly for the sake of brevity. The people behind Hitler. The people who made him Hitler. And at 51... So basically, the people behind Hitler's rise and subsequent fall, and documented by the CIA to be a faked death, to where he lived in Argentina and lived out his life as a Catholic priest. There's this, the Thule Society believed this book to be real. Vril, The Power of the Coming Race by Edward Bulwer Lytton is a pioneering science fiction novel where an American traveler discovers an ancient subterranean civilization, the Vrilya, who harness a psychic energy source called Vril to power their utopian society. The Vril, it's not the Vril Society, it's the Thule Society. The Vril Society may have existed, but these are the people behind Hitler. They believe this book, this fiction book, was real. And I've already established before, I'll do it for the sake of brevity again, that fiction through the Smith-Mundt Act is telling the same truth through fiction. Basically, Isis, or Nanaya, had a crush on me. She's an alien. And she wanted me to be the capstone Lucifer. And I said no. I don't care if you believe me. An alien goddess asked me to be the one, and I said, fuck yourself. So, you're learning what happened because the capstone doesn't exist anymore. So, oh, there it is. My bad. I was over there filibustering. So look at this. Pretty identical besides the way that they move. Okay, so these lines may be different, and the way that these things are structured is slightly different, but besides that, it's the same fucking thing. See, look, obvious cross in the middle for Planet of the Crossing. Nibiru, the red-hued planet. Look at that. The same fucking thing. Don't tell me it's not. Are you a skeptic? Are you going to appeal to authority? Want me to break down that Einstein was a plagiarist fraud like CJB does? Want me to talk about how you made a fake genius and called everybody who disagreed with him, including the 101 scientists against Einstein, anti-Semitic? Want to talk about, hold on, let's go to YouTube. Let's go where you're watching this probably, or if not, go to YouTube anyway. Oh, look, James regrets nothing. Right, Archangel Michael, who is Ningashita, right? Who's Hermes, who's Odin? Oh, no. The monotheism deception. Oh, look, I just had this uploaded. So there's part 1 right there. This is also a great one. These right here, these 3 are some of the most important information you'll probably never see. Like anybody who's going to see my shit. I'm the most blacklisted person on the damn internet, and if you found me, you're a damn miracle. So, because you can't just reject being the capstone of the New World Order and actually get very far. After all, Inanna is the goddess of making people famous or worthy in society. And what happened to Gilgamesh when he rejected her? So, of course, I got tortured. Thankfully, it was only psychically. Oh, but you say, Ronnie, you sound like a crazy lunatic. Project Stargate. Tell me again. Tell me again. Hold on. Oh, isn't that convenient? They named it the same thing. Donald Trump is scared of me. He actually named a building after a judge who had me in a courtroom when I was in the courtroom. Same persons who tried to legally get me killed, but hey, let's actually just type in ESP. Project Stargate was a top-secret U.S. intelligence program 1970s to 1995 that investigated the use of psychic phenomena, specifically remote viewing, for gathering military intelligence. Funded by the CIA and the DIA, it sought to use ESP for spy on the Soviet Union and other targets. Despite claims of some successes, it was terminated due to lack of actionable intelligence. What it actually is, and you can actually read a phenomenal book. See, that's the thing about books. Nobody reads anymore. And hell, sometimes I don't even fucking read. It's hard to sit there and read a book when you've got so many external stimuli to fuck with you like YouTube. So watch this damn video and learn the truth. Look at all these books, man. These are actually really good books. So, let me find it. My apologies. I'm looking for the book about psychic phenomena. Oh, here it is. Just a second. It's got to load. Oh, damn. Hold up. I got to turn on my Wi-Fi. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I had to switch my internet. So look at this. A phenomenal book. It's called Phenomena, a Pulitzer Prize-winning finale. It didn't win, but it got to the finalist. The Secret History of the U.S. Government's Investigations into Extrasensory Perception and Psychokinesis. It's a damn good book. It's nonfiction. Goes into Dr. Andrea Puharich, the Flesh of God mushroom and the CIA's hunt for psychedelics, Uri Geller, Pat Price, and so many others like Ingo Swann. The Men Who Stare at Goats was real. You ever heard of the 1st Earth Battalion? The Jedi Mind Control Program? You've never heard of the 1st Earth Battalion? This is all going to add up, trust me. I'm not just proving my point. 1st Earth Battalion. The 1st Earth Battalion was a 1970s-80s proposed U.S. military concept created by Lieutenant Colonel Jim Channon to develop warrior monks combining high-level combat skills with New Age spiritualism. So that New Age, we're getting into Madame Blavatsky. You're getting into the same cult. That's what I'm saying. New Age is a deception. What if I told you those stupid, kooky, low-budget Christians were onto something with the Great Deception? I've already explained to you that Ashtar, the so-called being who created the Ashtar command, is, the Vrillion hacking of the UK television broadcast. Oh, there he is. There's your so-called savior Pleiadian right there. Ashtar, Attar. Tell me again you know the truth, New Age. Let me tell you something. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you something. You can tell I'm pissed off because I see what's happening with my country. And I'm very pissed off at the Great Deception. So let's go into New Age. Because I'm going to expose Jesus. Oh, gotta check if I'm human. I'm not human, I'm of Nephilim blood, but I look human. So let's see. The main battles in human galactic history were fought in the constellation of Orion, yada yada yada. You can read this on your own, the Ascension Glossary. I'm not here to waste your time with drool. I'm not going to sit here and read the most unimportant parts like I typically do, because quite frankly, you're here for information quick, and you want it over with. So I'm just going to do this, and you can look more into it on your own. So this Lyrian Wars, right? They say that they're feline people. They claim that these are feline people. Melchizedek, right? So it's like the opposing group. So it's like the main original Lyrian Elohim humanoid races were committed to the law of one. That's a CIA psyop, and if ISIS is involved, it's not real. So this was them being lied to. It was a CIA channeling, and Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek was actually there too. This was a psyop done by aliens. The service to others nonsense, it's not real. That my divine galactic initiative not to get involved like Star Trek says, also propaganda. It's not real. The Galactic Federation is not real. It's the Great Deception, and I'm going to prove this as time goes on. But that doesn't mean that aliens aren't real, you see. So basically, there's this beef with these so-called Lyrian Elohim. The Elohim I've already thoroughly discussed. And this thing called Melchizedek. So New Age talks about these things, kind of. In Melchizedek, Jesus admitted that he was from Melchizedek. And you're like, what the hell is Melchizedek, Ronnie? King Majora, what is it? You know, I'm not even trying to hide under an alias anymore. I don't care that you know I assaulted Secret Service back in 2015 because I didn't want to talk. I've got their whole fucking system scared shitless over me and Agent Orange. It's a long story. I've threatened Agent Orange through psychic means. But hey, I'm just crazy, right? Right? Department of War? Melchizedek is a mysterious Old Testament figure. This is an order. You can do more research. I'm not here to feed you everything like I typically do. Jesus was a member of the Essenes, and he was a member of the Melchizedek order. An Aaronic order, or the order of Aaron through, Levi and Samuel, or Samael, same shit, different walk at the end of the day. Here's a book to read. And I know it's like, well, why did I waste my time watching you? I'm going to get into this and read it another time. I'm building suspense. But if you want to get there before I do, here is books to read is what I'm saying. And I'll just eventually get to it in this long series. I'm going through introductions right now. Holy Blood, Holy Grail. In short, Jesus was a prince. The name is actually Josh, the son of Joe, or Yeshua bar Yosef, or Ben Yosef. Josh, the son of Joe. I take all of the mysticism and religiousness out of it when I call him his plain name, what it would be in English. Jesus' name would be Josh, the son of Joe. And he was a king's heir, basically because Jesus, or Joshua, is a name that Jews use in their tradition for a would-be or soon-to-be king. As it comes to Christ, are you talking about the psychedelic ointment? Christ is a drug term, and this matters. Well, they're going to tell you it's a fringe theory, but a Victorian era said it was. So, let me actually get to it. They'll tell you everything's fringe, but everybody by now knows not to trust AI when they call something a fringe conspiracy theory. We're in that age where you no longer trust that. You'd rather trust me. And if you, by some happen chance, are watching me and you don't know me, you consider yourself very lucky. I'm the man who rejected becoming the Lucifer for the Freemasons. And quite frankly, everyone under the goddess. I rejected the goddess. So I would have been Lucifer. Sorry, Albert Pike, you got fucked. Dead Victorian classicist confirms Christ is a drug term. An amazing, semen is all over. Yeah, this guy right here, you can also look at this, and you can watch him yourself. Now, he's right. It's a psychedelic ointment. Try Josh, the son of Joe's anointment oil, guaranteed to fuck you up. But wait a minute. Drugs. If rapture, because rapture does mean spiritual ecstasy. What do you mean we're not going to get abducted into a UFO at the end times? Religious ecstasy. Religious ecstasy, often termed rapture in mystical contexts, is an altered state of consciousness marked by intense, overwhelming joy, divine union, and reduced external awareness. So, okay, that's relatively simple. So, we're going to fast forward. Greek God, because we've established that there's multiple and they're a universal pantheon. If you didn't know that, the Bible's pagan. Watch my documentary. Oh no, Dionysus, the Greek god of religious ecstasy. And what does the etymology of Dionysus? Oh no, he knows who Jesus really is. No, it means twice born. Okay, see, they like to hide these things. That's how good AI is. It does nothing but lie to you people when it matters. Because that's the truth. So, because Dio in Greek is two. And born. It's a discussion between people who do comparative mythologies. So, without further ado, let's unmask the monotheistic lens of Jesus and reveal who he really is. If you're a Christian and you don't know, I suggest you read a couple of books, The Gods of the Bible by former Vatican translator and Bible scholar Mauro Bellino, or The Bible Says So by Bible scholar Dan McClellan, for starters. I just unmasked it all. This is only episode 2. I revealed the goddess and the transgender, Inanna. So there was Nanaya, the secret goddess they always hide the true name of, Nanaya. Nanaya, the whore of Babylon. And then there's the deity, or the Elohim, that rules the Indus Valley, where Jesus is obsessed with. All that talk in the New Age about Jesus learning about the mystic traditions. Because Jesus is the Sumerian Anunnaki Dumuzid. He is a shepherd, check. Rise and fall deity, he rises and falls. Oh, there's that Inanna. Inanna is required. See, him and Inanna were lovers. Now it's becoming more clear to you. Inanna and Dumuzid are lovers. Who killed Dumuzid? Well, there's other interpretations. This AI loves to lie to me. Because this is the man who killed her lover. Marduk, the patron deity of Babylon and the supreme god in the Mesopotamian pantheon. The great Baal Hadad. The great Baal. What Baal stands for, it literally translates to, the Lord, your Elohim. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm really pissed off. Take Dumuzi's book out of here. I'm going to read a little bit. So, feel the wrath of a lion-headed serpent, a pissed-off bullfrog named Keck. You want the truth, you're going to fucking get it. And like I said, if you know about me, congratulations, you're one in a fucking 8 billion who knows about me. I'm constantly blacklisted. So, let's go ahead and do a little search if we can, shall we? Okay, let's type in exile. Look, okay, when it's in like this was actual quotes from, it's Sitchin-based, granted, but this is from, oh shit. To the Ijiji who Marduk followed, the landing place must give up and abandon. To the land of no return must Marduk in exile go. Then the task was up to Ningishita, the architect, to get Marduk out of the pyramid. Okay, so who is this? This is Satan. Hermes, Archangel Michael. It's Odin. That's Satan right there. Ningishzida. Because in later chapters, and I will read this book, don't worry, I'm going to read this entire chapter at some point. The thing you need to know is that's Thor, and that's Odin. And if you read the cuneiform tablets, or you read this book or something of Sitchin, you're going to learn that this man controls the world. And if the ruler of this world is Satan, that's Satan right there. Ningishzida, who is Archangel Michael, because he who is like El, he is an angel because Hermes is the messenger Elohim. And you want to know who they are? They are the Vanir. They are the Martians. That's who your Pleiades are. That's who your Pleiadians really are. They are Nordic Nazis from Mars. The Igigi. That's who took over with Marduk with his great Aryan revolution. The Martians under Marduk, who was supervised by Ningishida, so Hermes Odin, the Martian. After the great war between Vanir and Aesir, the blue ones. And then there's the Saiyans, the Titans, the Jotnar. Then there's the Seraphim, the Seraphim. Seraph means reptile. I am is plural. Like Elohim. I am. Gods, as you'd like to say, or deities. Malachim. Angels. Plural. Messengers. They come from here. That's the Martians, the blonde people you call Pleiadians, and magically hold and lo, behold, and woe to heaven, which always meant space, because I'm coming for you, nigga. Hail Artemis. I'm all about Artemis, who's chaste, and a sweet, sweet, awesome woman. Totally not like the pomegranate, the stinky skank, if you know what I'm saying. It's like, do you really want to go into this, Ronnie? King Majora, do you really want to go that far? I'm kind of hooked on what you're saying. You probably are if you're still watching. You're watching some deadly information you're not going to find anywhere. Because they won't tell you this. Because they're all in... I'm the real Illuminati, motherfuckers. And I can back up what I'm saying 100%. Let's talk about the birth mothers. This is a great book, man. This is all public information. I ain't saying nothing that's secret. So, the 7 birth mothers, the 7 Pleiadians. It's not just the star constellation. The 7 birth mothers. So, take a good look right here. These are your 7 Pleiadian sisters. The 7 original of their particular races, emphasis on plural, that gave birth to the initial Earth Atom Project. And we're going to read, trust me, as this series goes on, if you're watching me, this will all be revealed. The 7 birth mothers, who were their progenitors to the human race, that are our progenitors. What do you mean, our progenitors? We're not the Earth atoms. You know the flood happened, right? With buttercups flash frozen and mammoth mouths flash frozen animals because there was a literal pole shift after the flyby in their Dyson sphere. And then the flood happened and the Elohim Council, or should I say the Anunnaki Council, did not tell any of the humans because they feared them like they feared Tower of Babel, like they fear me. Yeah, these people wanted revenge, so they've tormented the humans because they're mad at the Aesir. Whether you like me or not, that's the truth. And I scare aliens. I scare the government. I scare the Pentagon. I scare the Illuminati, who are nothing but Sabbatean, Frankist, Gnostic, Luciferian Jews. They're not the Beyonce and Jay-Z bloodlines. They're not even the Germanic elite that you're told in history books. They are Jesus following and Sabbatean Frank following. They follow Jesus because they believe that's Samael. They believe that that's the serpent in the Garden of Eden. It goes back to Kabbalah and it goes back to the Talmud. They are Gnostic Luciferian Jews. The founder of Christianity is who they worship. And who is the founder of Christianity? Do you want me to go back to, who killed Dumuzi? Oh, there he is. There's the founder of Christianity right there. And if you've actually watched my monotheism deception, you know that Yahweh didn't exist, and neither did Satan. But fear not, Sashu of Yahoo. Fear not, slaves. Because Kek is still out there. These are the original Jews, not the Hyksos that took it over. The Sashu of Yahweh refers to nomadic Semitic-speaking tribes mentioned in Egyptian inscriptions from the 14th to 13th century BC. So remember, people, that they fear Kek, and I destroyed them in the past. And Yahweh may not exist, but a guy who has psychic powers and knows aliens has a vendetta. So look at this guy right here. Look at those teeth. You want to know how fucking sick the Epstein files get? You don't know the fucking half of it. You want to know how really sick it gets? You think that sex traffic is where the rabbit hole ends because some children got diddled? You don't have any fucking clue how deep it gets. You don't know anything about your enemies, motherfuckers. You don't know shit. That's about all. Peace out.